No. No. Don't. Don't you... No. Oh! No! Holy shit, it's here! No!
Forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames.
You need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen.
Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen?
Empress Nadinia's life is in your hands, Sir Arisen.
Praise be, for only the Sovereign's guidance can lead us true. Long live the Sovereign of Vermont!
Unfortunate, but it doth not release thee from thy fate.
What's up, guys? It's happening. It has happened. We're here. We got the trailer. We got gameplay. I expected something to happen this year, but definitely not this soon, and to have it at the PlayStation Showcase was a big surprise. When Itsuno tweeted like the day before, I was like, this tweet is fishy. But then at the same time, it's like, it could also just be a funny translation thingamajig, you know? Like, I am actually learning Japanese at the moment, but like, you know, I can't actually read it just yet or anything. I just know like basic words anyway. But yeah, that tweet that just looked kind of fishy. It was like, all right, does this mean anything? And I was like, I looked at the date and wait, tomorrow is the 11th anniversary, and 2 once is 2. I was like, okay, I can see where this may be going, but like at the same time, it's like every single time we expected something to happen, there was just absolutely nothing. So, well, anyway, starting right away with what we got here. The quote of the second game: "Conviction is the will that the human will that reaches its greatest power." Quite something similar that's probably gonna play a big role like the first quote of the game, which is the delightful and ever novel pleasure of a useless occupation, which speaks volumes for the first game, because of course everything you do in the first game is basically pointless, and if we really get down to it, then a life is basically pointless. Not that life is not worth living, but you know, anything we do in life doesn't actually really matter, you know? To a degree, of course, but the quote makes a whole lot of sense. And yeah, for the second game, conviction is the human will that reaches its greatest power. I think this speaks volumes, actually, because I think it's not only a big reason for the game, but also like, I think it might also be Itsuno being like, yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there and you know, like kind of like toying with us in a way, like, you know, we basically wished the game into existence in a way, and I think that's also what this quote is also referencing, on top of what it's actually gonna mean in the story. I just thought that was a funny thing to mention there. Let's move on, and then of course we got a griffin here in the opening cutscene. immediately what we can see here is two characters riding a griffin. You know, I'm also just here, just kind of like speculation and stuff, you know, because yeah, I think it's just really cool that the chances that we can actually like ride a griffin like this, or like monsters, I think that would be like that would be something very special, not something you see in any other game. If you could like tame a big monster and take it with you and use it as a mount, basically. Now that would be something, and I wouldn't be surprised that that's actually a thing in this game, because people have been like, we want mounts, and it's, you know, it's just like, all right, you guys want mounts? Let's turn that up to 11. You know, you can already grab onto shit. Why not have a mount? You can just grab onto it, fly with it. You know. So that's pretty cool. So next, immediately what we can see here is I was just like, you know, I like the thing I showed in the beginning of the video is just like, I pretty much already knew, but at the same time I was like, is this the game? Could this be the game? I'm not sure if this looks like Dragon's Dogma just yet, you know. And even when like, just this entire trailer was just completely chaotic, you know. There's just so much happening, all the voices, all the things you could look at, the music, which was absolutely insane, by the way. Same as the music in the background, but you know. And then like, yeah, just like the card, it's basically just, you know, referencing the first game. There's a lot of references to the first game in this trailer anyway. And then of course you can see the harpy in the background, Capcom logo coming on. It's just, yeah, the card, I personally don't really know much to say about this. When the camera pans out though, this is interesting, because a lot of people have been saying that the tower in the back is probably Blue Moon Tower, and it could be, but it's got no structures, no walls around the tower. And for those that have played Dragon's Dogma Online, they would probably know that there's more of these such towers in the game. Not just one, but multiple. And then there's also these wall structures on the side, like these weird pillar things, which just make it look like something different of a building. Just like maybe, because this little spot over here looks quite a lot like Blue Moon Tower, but it could just be reused assets or something, you know, or like some weird time bullshit going on, or dimensional stuff, which is basically what these towers are anyway. Yeah, like I said, there's more than one tower in Dragon's Dogma Online, which are mostly underground. They don't serve a whole lot of purpose there, from what I know. I mean, I couldn't really follow the story just yet, but maybe in the future. Of course, we also have the town here, or the city. Can we make much of it? It's hard to say. This looks like an early Grand Soren, or like earlier Grand Soren. At the same time, it's like other people have pointed out, the tower is on a different side, so this technically couldn't be Grand Soren. And also, later in the trailer, there's this guy that refers to the Sovereign of Vermont, so that's something to keep in mind. Of the bridges, of course. Yeah, it's very curious, very curious. I don't really know what else to make out of it. Of course, what else is interesting is the different biomes we can see from here. I expect the game to be probably like 3 times the size of Dark Arisen at the very least, so that's something to keep in mind. I wonder if we'll be able to climb mountains. I don't think we will be able to, because from what I could tell from the trailer so far is that we'll still be limited to like certain areas that are blocked off by you know, cliffs and stuff. Which would make sense because we're playing on an RE engine, and the RE engine is not really known for its open worlds. This is like the first open world RE engine game. As well as just like not everyone can climb mountains, and I don't think that's something it's would want to focus on anyway. Funny thing, of course, because we can climb monsters, but I don't know, it's lore stuff, I guess. Let's move on. So you've got let's actually let's go slightly back there. Come on. There we go. So you can actually have a good look at the town. It's hard to say, because this looks like the church, this looks like the castle, like the layout of the town is exactly the same as Grand Thorn, which is interesting. There's just no tower here, like the Princess's Tower, or the Duchy's, whatever the fucks. The layout looks extremely similar, which is quite interesting. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Let's move on. So we get the logo. I completely flipped my shit. Well, this character could just be about anything. What is interesting though is these voice lines. You do not remember me, then have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames? And a lot of people have been saying that that this is, this could be someone else. I think this is the player's character, basically. I'm not sure, because the player's character would usually be a mute. I would love to actually have the player's character like have a voice. Even if it's not the player's character, this could be another character that we meet in the story. And our pawn saves them, because I think this is a pawn's voice. Like in another person's trailer, there was names beside the sentences, and one said Pathfinder. I don't know how accurate that is, but I see a completely different take from this, because like then you have this, and then the next part is where
You protected me from the dragon's flames.
You need
this you need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen. Could be this character, could be a Pathfinder, the Pathfinder. What I would take from this, especially the way it's said, like a really monotone way of saying it, feels like it's like a possessed pawn or something, or like taken over, or whatever the fucks. Or maybe this is the Pathfinder taking over a pawn. I don't know. This could be about anything. Pathfinder could be the Seneschal for all we know. But I think this is a possessed pawn that's saying that to the character that we just saw. And I think that would be like a big thing playing a role in the story. Let's move on from that. So that's could be just about anything, Seneschal, whatever. We finally get some actual gameplay there. I mean, everything has been in engine, but you need to only believe in your own destiny. Same thing. And I saw someone else point this out. The archer, or whichever class this is going to be called, Frication, jumps off of a enemy, which is a skill in Dragon's Dogma Online as well, where Seeker could jump off walls. And now seeing that on monsters is actually really cool, because that means we can jump from monsters and do shit like this. This is probably just a pawn, but the fact that pawns do that is pretty cool as well. What else is noteworthy here? Well, the goblins look slightly different. Great quality of the trailer, by the way. Even at 4K, it's still just kind of like funny. Very pixely. Thanks, YouTube. Well, I suppose the fact that we see Savan here is kind of interesting. People have been saying that maybe it's like a redo of the first Dragon's Dogma. I mean, this would be really cool, and I would be fine with that, actually. What else can we see here? Warrior being Warrior. This actually looks a whole lot better. There's a lot of blurry stuff. The particles look really nice, actually. Good to see that we get a lot of the same armors and cooler looking armors that we've also seen in the first game. Good to see that the hit stop is still there. I don't really know what else to say about this. It just looks really good, I guess. This character, of course, that backs. What got me as interesting here is the way, of course, comes out in the trailer. Let's go back a little bit. Can see if you can hear it. Of course. It's like robot-y, you know, like really weird. Like it's edited in a way. Maybe I was thinking maybe that's the because I heard some other people say that the Sphinx that we see later in the trailer. We'll get to that. We see later in the trailer. We can communicate with them. I don't think that's the case because monsters are monsters in this game, except for Gregory. But I don't think monsters like a Sphinx would have that kind of intelligence. Although Netflix series RPs were very intelligent, but I don't know. Could be, but meh. I don't see it happening. But this really sounds odd, robot-y, and just tagged on in a way. Probably just for the trailer's purpose, but and then of course the interesting part is the fact that, you know,
That begs the question.
that begs the question. That begs the question. Then where might the true Arisen be? Interesting, because later in the trailer we can see, which we could assume is the Duke, who is probably posing as an Arisen, which could tie into how Duke Edmund was an Arisen, but, you know, of course, I mean, spoilers by the way, go play Dark Arisen before you actually watch this. You know, the Duke didn't actually kill the dragon, and he took the dragon's bargain as to become king. And from what I can take from this, that's the same here. That Arisen took the dragon's bargain probably to become the Duke of Vermont, I would assume. And then, of course, she's asking where we are, because we are the true Arisen. Or are we? You know, could be something completely different. And what's cool here is the change in how the golem looks. Will the blue spots be the weak points, or will we actually be able to damage the golem in a different way now? What scares me actually is it might be harder to fight now, the same way a monster in a Monster Hunter is, like the rock dragon, like my least favorite, and like my entire least favorite monster in Monster Hunter Rise. God damn it, I hate that thing. I don't know its name because I've fought it so little that I just don't know. But I have a feeling that the golem might be a whole lot harder to fight here than we had in Dark Arisen, where you have all these emblems where you can just easily go to the emblem and just hit that. I don't think that's gonna be. I'm I'm assuming that the golem will have a way to armor itself with the rocks around it. But I suppose we'll see. It's good to see that that shit still flies in the air when it gets hit. Um, the laser seems to hit a whole lot quicker as well. Like the time between the laser hitting the ground and the explosions actually happening used to be a lot slower and easier to dodge. This actually looks a whole lot more like an emblem, by the way. Maybe it's just the particles looking cooler in this game. What else to take from this? Well, of course, like other people have pointed out, you only have one weapon per class, which I think is interesting. I don't know how other people think about that, but I'm fine with that. That's cool stuff. What's next? This looks like Spirit Lancer, a new Spirit Lancer. It could be another class, or like a Spirit Lancer mixed with another magic vocation, or just something entirely new. Of course, the skill here is something that we haven't seen before, not in Dark Arisen or online, where you just pull stuff together and then you know, stuff flies away and then hits other enemies. So that, yeah, it could be Spirit Lancer. I hope so, because Spirit Lancer is freaking awesome. Can I take anything else from this? I don't think so. Well, let's just move on. And then we see a Magic Archer fighting what I assume is just a new skin for the Eliminators, which look like more like minotaurs now, which is cool. I think that's awesome, because this is basically just a charge attack of the Eliminators, just different, you know. And then it falls over. I assume this is because you hit it so much that it falls over. I don't think the player character is actually getting hit here. Yeah, I think it's just the new Eliminator, probably. Because they've got the hammer, they've got the horns. I'm actually happy to see that they're in the overworld as well. That's cool. Can't wait to fight that thing. Then we have this Khajiit. Khajiit. What else to take from this? Not a whole lot. We actually saw the other cat beastman earlier. Didn't even mention it. That's you know, good to see that the old way of, like, the medieval way of talking is still in the game. I'm happy to see that. What else to take from this? Not a whole lot in my case anyway. I think it's cool that we have more races now in the game. This guy, the Sovereign's guidance can lead us through. Yeah, that's interesting. I assume he's referring to the fake Arisen guy, Duke, that we see later in the trailer with the crystal on his chest. Yeah, that's about all I can think from this. And then this is interesting, of course. The Pitch Black Dark Knights. Glad to see those are still in. And then we have this skill that I believe originally comes from Elemental Archer in online. Our enemies are blinded and also damaged if like undeads. Happy to see that that's a skill that's still in, and you know, to great effect because everything is getting stunned, which gives an opening for like melee classes to get in and get the quick kills. A long-lived Seeker, let's go. What else do we have? This is cool, actually. We actually get to create structures with magic. Now I wonder to what extent we can use this ability, because you can build a bridge here, that's cool. But what else can you do with it, you know? Can we do cool shit with it, like... I mean, maybe not exactly to the extent that you can do stuff with the Ultra Hand in Tears of the Kingdom, but can we like make climbable walls with this? Can we create other forms of structures, or can you summon mist swords or whatever, you know? What can you do with this ability? That's what I'm interested into. Good to see that Blood is still in the game. That's great. You can see the capital in the background. This whole area just looks a whole lot like just outside Grand Sorn, you know, where you like have the card and the griffin, and you fight the griffin up here. Like a whole lot of these areas just look so much the same. We can see some birds or whatever in the background. That's not a bird. Well, actually, the small stuff was, and the other stuff was dirt or whatever. It's funny to see the goblin just getting yeeted. Was it a goblin? Oh, it's an orc, actually. That's interesting. I haven't seen that. That's the first time I see that. Those are orcs. Or it's a heavy armored hobgoblin. So what's interesting from this, because it's not an orc, but we could probably have orcs in the game as well, is the fact that they are wearing heavy armor, which was a mechanic in online where certain monsters had heavy armor or armor on, and you had to damage the armor before you could actually damage the monster. I wonder if monsters will also have their armor turn like green, for example, or if that's not in here, but you still have to like hit the armor before it falls off, like you have in Dark Arisen, you know, where you just bounce off of the armor if you're I don't know if it actually your weapons bounce off with like great swords or anything. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's funny to see it get yeeted off the screen like that. You've got the town. It looks massive. It looks absolutely massive. I wonder if we can actually go into all the buildings now. That would be cool. The town crier. Yeah. It's I'm curious to see what you can do in this town now. Can't really make much else out of it though. Let's move on. That's a really short shot over here. It seems to be the guy that's in the cathedral screaming about the sovereign, or maybe it's not. Yeah, it probably is actually. Cool inn. Lots of NPCs in there. Not much else notably here though. this? Hard to say. It looks quite a lot like uh, what is it? The last area, the Great Wall area. Can I say anything else about it though? I'm not so sure. It looks cool and everything, but yeah, that's about it. I can't really make much else out of this. Let's see. And this actually really surprised me. Gregory is back. So that's basically when I realized, like, I was like, wait, Gregory's back, but we killed Gregory. So this is either like an alternate timeline or like one of the canon endings of Dark Arisen, where the Risen dies, your player dies, and you turn into Gregory. Which is weird. Actually, that could not be, because we see Savan as well, and that could just be because they wanted to give a little a nod to the original trailers, but I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll have to see, I guess. It's hard to say right now. That pan out screen like freaking wings, dude. Massive. He looks even bigger than in the first game. Absolutely massive. This is cool though. You're so high up in the air, man. Like, what? Hard to actually see that it's that this is a seeker, but it is. It's cool that you can see that the weapons actually get bloodied now. So I wonder if blood will be more visible in this game. You can still see the blood splatters going about, but it seems like the feathers also get like bloodied and stuff. Anything else here? See, because you can actually, if I get the right shot, it's hard because I can't slow this down. You can actually see that this one is completely covered in blood or something else. And this one is just normal steel color, grayish stuff. This seems to be the red area that you see in the first scene of the trailer, like the canyon area. You can actually, hold on. You can actually see a campfire there. So can we like camp out, and you know, that would be really cool. But because then you can, like, every single open world game has cooking right now. So why wouldn't Dragon's Dogma have cooking? You know, and then you sit there and you have your meals and you get your buffs, and then you fight big mons. That would be nice. I would dig that. Have some survival going on. And this is cool, of course, because the pawn. Wait, no, this is also a player character, and this is also a player character. That's interesting, because you see in a later shot, you see this character interacting with a rift stone. Now, of course, this could just be them doing the funny with like model switching or anything, but it's interesting that we see this character as a player character and this character as a player character in a trailer. That's interesting. Ogre's back, looking even more fearsome than ever. Looks like a mining area. Cool as warrior. Actually, I'm not so sure. I'm trying to look if I can see if the if you get the scar, but I think the scar is already there. You just can't see it because of the lighting. I don't know, but assume that enemy model damage is gonna be more present in this game because, you know, Cyclopses would get like covered in blood after they almost die, but I have to see. What I think is cool though is the fact that this is probably gonna play a bigger role in the game, because in the first game there were some destructible environments like pillars and stuff, but to see a bridge collapse now and the Oxy's not giving a shit, that's kind of cool. But I remember from somewhere, I don't know from where, um, but I remember someone mentioning how they wanted to um, capitalize on destructible environments. So it's cool to see that a bridge like this can collapse, and I wonder if there's gonna be more stuff like this, or like buildings or other wooden structures or things that we can destroy. Um, yeah, look forward to that. And then this. It is the interesting part actually, because now that I think about it, now that I mention it, um, they're doing this, and I know that on the website, um, they actually say that it's a single player game. But this is interesting because this is a player character, and this is a player character. Does that imply something? Maybe. I hope so. I would dig some co-op. I think a lot of people would dig some co-op. Wait, actually, is it? Hold on. This is a different. He does have the same cape, but I think he's a different. Yeah, he's got a different helmet. Maybe not then. That would make me sad. Don't know. Oh well. That's fine, I guess. Either way, I think it's still really cool. Let's move on. We get some Medusa / Gorgon looking thing here. Probably want to look out for some petrification. Would be cool if we can cut off the snake heads. I wonder what the rest of this monster is gonna look like. I'm gonna assume something like something a little bit like Daemon, as the most familiar reference for most people. Like the body of Daemon on the lower side, and then this head. Doesn't seem to have any wings though. But I think that's something that that the body of this monster will look like. And then of course we have this the Sphinx returning from Dragon's Dogma Online, looking even more mighty and you know, present than previously. What is interesting here is actually the key that immediately caught my attention. The key around the Sphinx's neck. Does that mean that monsters will carry these keys in dungeons, for example, and you have to kill them to gain the key and gain access to the next area or something, or like loot? That's curious. Griffin. Then we got another shot of Gregory doing his dark magic stuff. And then what seems to be the Duke. 3 pawns. else can we make of this? That crystal's interesting, though. Purple crystal. Could that be... Hold on. What does the crystal of the cursed dragon look like? Cursed dragon. Dragon's Dogma. Can't really tell, it just glows really, really purple. Hard to say exactly. But this could be the guy turning into a cursed dragon. Which I suppose would be an interesting story twist if he is the Duke and he suddenly turns into a cursed dragon. Destroying half of the city and shit like that. That'd be cool. What Gorgo is referring to could be just about anything. So can't really say a whole lot about that. That character. That's about it. Yep. There was another thing actually. I would have to go to the official website. Let's see here. Here we go. There was something else here that caught my eye. Let's see what it was again. This is... I want to see this website, please. Oh, it just takes me to the Japanese one. Oh, fine by me, I guess. The prison affairs. Okay, interesting. How that words it completely differently. I can't seem to find it here at all. Official webpage, here we go. Right, here it is. Dragon's Dogma is a single-player, narrative-driven action RPG that challenges players to choose their own experience. From appearance, if there arisen to their vocation to their party, how to approach different situations, and more. Now, this is interesting, because in the first game, there were some choice and consequence, but the consequence wasn't really hitting very hard. But quests could play out differently. What I hope and what I think this implicates is them having choice and consequence more in the forefront, and you know, the thing I loved about Dark Arisen is how a choice isn't necessarily right away apparent. For example, with Mercedes and Julian, their conflict encounter, where you could help Mercedes, or you could help Julian, or you could do absolutely nothing and just watch. But the game doesn't tell you that you have those choices. So I hope that Dragon's Dogma 2 allows us to make choices like that, and that could make the replayability of the game insane. And like, you don't really know how many choices there are and how many routes you can take to get to your goals. So that could be really cool. That is about it though. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, then please do like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care and see you later.